One Piece chapter 1165 might be the most emotionally charged chapter of the entire Elbaf flashback. We finally learn why Loki is the way he is, the shocking truth behind Herald's rise in the world government, and the chapter quietly drops some of the most disturbing Shanks panels we've ever seen. Today we're going to be breaking down chapter 1167, the chapter that changes how we see Elbaf, the Giants, and the Figureland family. Welcome guys, my name is Francis. Here we do a full review and analysis of One Piece chapter 1167, The Son of Ida. This chapter is packed with political moves, Elbaf tragedy, God's Knight's lore, and the most unhinged moment from Loki we've ever seen. So let's break it down. So right out of the gate, Oda shows us a side of Herald we've never meant to see. We learn he was secretly ordered by the world governments to hunt down pirates as a form of atonement for the Giants' 1,000 years of sins. So to me, it seems like the world government, start of the warlord system, what Herald is doing. So it's quite interesting. Like, this is how the birth of the warlord system happened. But the most important part isn't Herald killing pirates. It's the reason behind it. Herald became a weapon of the world government out of guilt. This immediately reframed Elbaf culture. Their leaders aren't just proud warriors, they're carrying generational shame. Then the narrator clarifies something big. Herald is not the Florian Triangle monster, because as we clearly saw in the panel, Herald coming out of the mist, meaning that Oda is saving that mystery for later. And then we get a big political bombshell. After Roger's death, the five elders promote Herald to devoted blade of God, pretty much stating that he's a personal sword for the God's Knights. And some of you guys might not completely understand. This title matters because it sets up the hierarchy of what it takes to be a God's Knight. On the surface, you have a surface sea contract, weak connection, meaning it's not as strong, and or pretty much to enter in the abyss. And deep sea contracts is stronger vow, meaning you're a little bit more wholesome to emu side of things. And then in the sea floor contract, it's a God level devotion, meaning itself you are going to be more aware of who Emu is and the God of this world, because Herald did state it in the panel. God asked a question, and the five elders told him, in time you will understand if you devote yourself. So which is correct. The world government literally uses religious terms. They're conditioning Herald like a Xylox. Due to what Herald is doing, Herald then asked the world government, will Elbaf be welcome into the world government? And the elders says, indeed. This is a huge political setup, because Herald is sacrificing everything because he believes he's saving his homeland. And then this chapter shifts gears and gives us easily the most controversial moment. Shanks lived in Marizwa with the Figurelands. He wears the God Knight's uniform. His left eye is literally bandaged. I'm doing my right, but this is the left hand. But we still don't know how he got those wounds. We don't understand how that wound is afflicted, because he stated last time that Blackbeard was the one that caused that injury. So we're hoping that's what it is. And we can clearly see that he's angry, not calm, not composed, that the usual Shank that we usually see. He's furious about wasting 24 years of his life, because Shank says, no wonder I always felt like I don't belong. Everything was disgusted. This implied he knew he was different from the celestial dragons. He hated the environment. It disgusted. And here's the crazy part. Shanks was the mysterious figure who held Fisher Tiger during the slave escape. This single panel implies Shanks always rejected the celestial dragon's lifestyle. He risked everything to help Fisher Tiger and the enslaved women, including Hancock. That makes Shanks one of the earliest rebels against the world government. This chapter doesn't make Shanks darker. It makes him more tragic. A boy raised in a golden cage who hated the cage. The emotional core of this chapter is Ida. Ida is not just Loki's stepmother. She's described as Loki's mother without blood. This line is the soul of this chapter. When I mean this, we see Elbaf's culture clearly. Giants hides emotions. They bottle up pain. Loyalty is everything, and honor determines leadership. Loki cares deeply for Ida but refuses to show it. He's a grown man, but emotionally he's still the boy who was abandoned by his own mother. Ida refused to call Harold despite being deadly ill because she knows how important his mission is. This makes her selfless, loving, proud, and extremely vulnerable to haters. But then we saw the twist that hits like a truck. Ida wasn't sick, he was poisoned. The Bruce village, the same clan ties to Estrade, poisoned her out of disgust of Ida being named queen. So they were trying to protect the hierarchy or the bloodline. This ties back into Elbaf's politics. They want their own in power. What makes this villain especially hateful is arrogance. All treasure and power belongs to us. That's what he stated. I poisoned her with ergot. No one can stop it. He openly admitted smiling. He openly admits it while smiling. This is where the chapter goes from tragic to phenomenal, because when Loki hears the truth, everything snaps. He destroyed the entire Buru village in a single rage-filled rampage. Flames everywhere, giants screaming, absolute destruction. Loki lifts the poisoning giant by their throat and raw. Ida better not die. She's the only one. My biological mother threw me into the underworld. He's stating that Ida is only women. This is characters writing at its peak. Loki has been emotionally frustrated since childhood. He never felt love, never felt chosen, but Ida loved him regardless. She invited him into her own home. She became the mother he never had. So when someone threatened Ida, Loki becomes a monster. Not an evil monster, a broken one. This is the moment that defines Loki. He isn't the spoiled prince. He isn't the arrogant giant. He's a scared child protecting the only mother who ever cared. This chapter does for Loki what chapter 1044 did for Luffy. It reframes his entire character. This chapter honestly feels like a pre-timescape Oda. Political world building, emotional stakes, tragic family dynamic, and moral ambiguity. Harold became more sympathetic. Shanks' past becomes darker and more heroic. Ida becomes one of the most beloved giant characters, honestly, by me. And Loki finally becomes a tragic protagonist instead of a meme prince. If Oda keeps this level of writing for the next chapter, Elbaf might end up becoming one of the greatest flashback in the entire story. So let me know what you guys think about this, what you think about this chapter, and what do you think about all this flashback? Because personally, I am genuinely enjoying Elbaf, as when Oda even stated that he'd never meant to create or for the crew to go to Elbaf, but this just delivered spectacular. Let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.